welcome to Sandy's numerology. So, I've been meaning to do this for a little while. Our little Lillibet Diana Mountbatten-Windsor. She is born on the 4th of June, 2021. She has a 6 in Lillibet, and Lily is also a 6. She has a life path 6. And she's born in the month of June, where there's another 6. And 6s are all about architect, design, ideas, invent. It's the recipe and the formula and what makes things tick, whether it's people or animals, and maybe getting into the minds of people and wanting to know who they are from an inside perspective. But it's got a real strong word connection, and the connection is it to people. Yes, there's going to be quite a few. If she doesn't connect with you, she is not going to bother with you at all. But she's going to be fabulous with animals as well. She's going to love children. She's about that recipe and that formula. And when I tie in her Mountbatten, which is a 4, and then she's born on the 4th day, this brings in the baker. But a baker is like a builder. They get the recipe, they get the ingredients, they get the tools with what they need to build or make something. And then there's a lot of taste things here. She's got a 6th sense, so she's very intuitive. But with these 4s, there's that earth, metal, wood, organic, nature, natural oriented. But man, there's 4 in her day. This is the word no. So if she doesn't want to do something, she's not going to do it. And her 4 is rules, regulations, boundaries, system, order, build, renovate, restore. And this also brings in with her 6s is that she could become a designer, a fashion designer, because her Lillibet Diana Mountbatten-Windsor adds to a 3. So architect, design, ideas, invent, build or pattern make, for example, and then she's got the 3, which brings in colors and textures and rhythm and movement and fluidity. But that 4 is how she wakes up. She is systematic and orderly. People like her kind of tack out their clothes the night before because they don't do surprises, and she doesn't do surprises. So that's why her first word is going to be no. It's not going to be mom or dad. She's going to go no, or she's going to really pierce those lips, because if you're trying to get that spoon of food into her mouth and she doesn't want, she is not going to have it. She's got a lot of maturity with her 4. So this is being in charge. This is the boss. So when she gets into school or whatever, or with little Archie, she's going to tell him what is yes and what is no, and what she will do and what she won't do. But this is sure-footed, doesn't rush to make a decision. And if she doesn't know how to do things, that 4 says she must be taught in a systematic and an orderly manner, with the 1 + 1 = 2. And this is always taught with Legos and puzzles and physically showing her like 2 pens and then asking her to give an example, because once she's got it for good. Now, Lillibet versus Archie. Archie is an academic, but Lily isn't. But she is the person who's going to be the architect and the designer, and people are going to want what she designs. This 6 life path is definitely going to bring in some allergies, and in her numbers, she's got no seafoods, and she's got no meats, and she's got no carbohydrates. So she's going to be rather in that organic or that natural, or otherwise her 6s have got a taste for a lot of things. But if she doesn't like the taste, she is going to spit that out without a doubt. Bar the fact that she's going to have rather a firm tongue. but it's going to be cutting. So she doesn't like something, you're going to get it, that's for sure. Now, her Diana is a number 11, which says to serve, to lift. Psychology, counseling ties into the inner workings of what makes people tick. What's that recipe and that formula? That 11 is for the greater good of mankind. She's going to be very, what Diana was doing with trying to eradicate minds, she is going to be doing something. But I'm feeling that there's this animal leaning and this diet things, this health thing and hydroponics and futuristic with her 11s and her 4s and her 6s. But she's sure-footed. Yes, she's got a 3, which brings in that flexibility and that motion and movement, but only when she knows how to. Having that 4 in her day is normally seen as a masculine energy parent. So she's going to have an eye for her dad, but her mother, who's born on the 4th of August, is going to be her rules and regulations. So there's a little bit of a heads up against mom, and Lily is definitely her mom's nemesis, because in the surname Markle is a 6, and just because she's got married and changed her surname, she never loses the energy of what she's born with. So got 6s, got 4s, got 11s, and so does Megan. Let me see here if, Megan's got 3s as well, and let's face it, she's very attractive, and she's been a bit of a fashionista, which now brings in a very, very interesting thing, because when Lady Di, she became a fashionista. People wanted her hairstyle, people wanted a copy of her engagement ring. And from the age of, I'm going to bring around 11, 12, all the way through to her age of 27, 28, 29, she has got 2 double 3/6 triangles, which is the trendsetter. And with her architect design, pattern making, her 3s, which is clothing, she could be making outfits for animals, outfits for children, outfits for men, outfits for women. She's a little Chanel here, I might add. I think what concerns me will be this hyperactive brain. So this brings in this ADD, ADHD, OCD, but it's a fast thinking that the average person doesn't keep up with. But she's got nice attention span with that 4. But if she doesn't connect with a teacher or with somebody, she is not going to connect at all. So her and her mom are going to be, are they in line with one another? No. Because Megan had her in a 7-3, but little Lily is her first year, she's in a 6-9 year. But interesting enough, Lily, her day and month add to a 1. She's got a upper hidden 1, and then Lillibet, Mountbatten-Windsor adds to a 1, and so does Lily and Mountbatten-Windsor. And that is independent, individual, owning my own business, being a leader, waking my day up and getting my day going. Now we bring in little Archie. Now Archie's got a 4 in Mountbatten-Windsor, but Lily's got double 4s. So if he thinks he can borrow money from Lily, not a chance. Now Archie is where I saw that Megan would definitely be having a second child. We know that she did miscarry, and that's just the body knowing that something is not ticking correctly, and the baby probably wasn't developing, and this could have been lungs and heart or or even brain. So that clearing of the way has brought in a little gift and a little angel here, bar the fact that little Lily is going to be more of a tomboy. And Archie is definitely Harry's nemesis because he's got the 5 life path. He's born in the month of May, and Archie, Prince Harry, is born on the 15th, and that 5 there. So Archie is definitely Prince Harry's nemesis. Now, the interesting thing with Lily, because of this double 4, it makes her very mature for her age. And where I feel that she is completely honest. You ask her a question, she's got an answer, she's going to speak up, she's going to give you the truth. Where with Archie, a whole different story. You're not always going to get the truth. He is going to be the diplomat. Yes, he's got royal in his numbers, but he is definitely going to cause a lot of problems for the royal family. I've no doubt in my mind about that. But he does have double 11, so he's going to serve the greater good of mankind. Be very interesting because he's born on the 6th day, which does bring in mechanical, electrical, technical, and chemical. Be interesting if he goes into military, which is a 5, that he becomes a pilot, that he serves. Would he be serving America? Would he be serving the British Army? That would be kind of quite interesting. But he is going to be trouble. But Lily is going to have that really solid ability in the teaching from her mother, because the mother's got these 4s. So everything about rules, regulation, boundaries, discipline, she will get from her mother, but she will look to her father to be able to wheel and deal. You see, she'll be able to wrap him around her little finger. So it's going to be interesting because Lily, I'm hoping that everything within the health regime of the body, that things are ticking correctly, because that's the only concern that I have. But we will see that when she, probably 2 months before the turn of her birthday, and that is when she is going to be a lot more in the limelight. She will be 1, and then she's got triple 1, so this is very individual, but she's going to be in a 7 personal, so there's definitely going to be a lot of obviously photographs and pictures, etc. But she is going to be upwardly mobile by the age of 1. She is going to do her crawling, which is really a good thing for coordination for babies. There are some children that just kind of have that one leg up and that other one is pushing them along, and all they want to do is get up. She is going to take her time, but when she gets going, by the time she is 1, she is running around. But I'm going to look forward to whether this trendsetter, is this going to be in fashion? Yes. Is she going to be the fashion designer? Strong potential there. She's going to love outdoors and nature. She's going to be a bit of a tomboy, but she's got her girly in Lily Mountbatten-Windsor or Lillibet Mountbatten-Windsor. So she's going to be quite engaging. But this is going to be interesting because could she also, with her being born in the month of June, she's going to be quite technology orientated. And because she's got 6s and 4s and 3s like her mother, she is also going to be an author. And I said that in the previous video with Megan, that she's got the 4 life path, which makes her an author, and she has written a children's book, and there will be more to come. It will be interesting to see what her mother is going to produce and direct. So mom's got a very, very good eye for camera. and is very good in front of or behind. And Lily is definitely got the words produce, direct, head up, oversee, and she's going to own her own business. She's going to make her own money without a doubt. So now we've had some interesting times, because I did also speak about Prince Harry was going to be in a year of loss and separation, and the Queen's husband passed away. And in this 11-2, how there's been this separation from father and brother, and it's actually very natural, but it just means there's a bigger story when you happen to be very well known. That will all soften from September of 2021, and it'll be much more engaging. And that split that's there is interesting, because I think that split will be healed. It'll take a little while, but if you remember in my previous video, I also said that Prince Harry's age is a 1 up until 2021, which is to express who I am, my individuality, where I'm going, what I'm doing, and everything about is me, myself, and I. And he's got double hidden sexes. This is about family. And he's unfortunately had to see a lot of painful things that happened to his mom. And, you know, Meghan obviously would have known all about this to a degree, but maybe not as much as the British people, because it was so intense, that she's going to protect her children without a doubt. Not much is going to pass her, and she's going to be in control. And little Lily is also going to be somebody who is in control. So it's interesting to see that Meghan is in a 7-3 in 2020 to her birthday in 2021. And then she is going into an 8-4 year from August. Now, she is born on the 4th of the 8th. And she's got another 4 now that she's added Mountbatten-Windsor. So it's not going to be an easy year for her. It's going to be quite a tough year. And this is all going to be about her communication. There's definitely this produce, direct, authorship, setting up structures. So there's some interesting business opportunities that are coming up, but it's not going to be an easy year for her going forward. And I think that we'll see in 2022, from that August, for a period of a year, this is not pretty. This is not a nice year for her. And this is not about her. This is about what's going on outside. There's politics and there's power games. And yes, this could also be royal matters, but this is also the con and the fraudulent people. And this is also very in line with America. And there's some weirdos out there. And I just hope that the protection of this family is going to be consistent. And I think that Meghan and both Prince Harry, because of his Mountbatten-Windsor as a 4, that they're going to be very, very particular about the protection of their children. One doesn't want any kind of kidnapping scenarios, which we have heard of in families before. So to end on a positive note, when I think of little Lily, I smile. She is going to be a joy. And I look forward to seeing this fashionista that's going to step out, and the baker and the chef and the dietitian and the owning her own business and her independence, and be very interesting, because that authorship is broad. It's not only about fashion. But I think that she is going to be a massive trendsetter. Whatever she does, if it's in the public eye, everybody else is going to want to do it as well. Thank you for watching Sandy's Numerology.